I think this gentleman here, I think he wants me to stop.
No, you're good.
Oh, I'm good. Okay. I misunderstood. So you can leave that in the comments. Brian misunderstood what a stop sign means. Had a chance to ride the boring tunnel, not once, not twice, no, about a half dozen times. And it was, I don't know, if I had to describe it in one word, I guess I'd say boring. Hey, real quick, don't forget to stick around until the very end because I've got some closing thoughts and this is going to be a fun one. And I apologize for the flickering lights, but it is a little chilly. 10C. No, it's not 10 times the speed of light. It is cold. So let's get right into the video and I'll talk you through it. So there is no good place to park at the convention center. They've got endless parking, but most of these lots have been consumed by the folks doing test drives and demos and all kinds of such fun things. But we have got a way to get around. So we parked about a block away, real close, and we're going to take the boring tunnel loop, the Vegas loop to get in.
Present ticket here.
I'm Brian. Welcome to my boring loop weekend.
So how do we do this? Where are you guys headed?
West. Just come on in, he says. Come on in and check it out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool, thank you. Wait here for just a minute. Next car that pulls up is all yours.
Perfect.
Cool, thanks a lot. How far is it from here? The west side?
Like 1,000 feet.
I mean, if you're driving main streets, that's probably about
A day.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a couple hours.
All right, yeah. In Vegas, especially right now.
Yeah, I know. We just found out coming down here. That's why I was like, let's just take this first hotel that's at $30. Like, okay, great, perfect.
Yeah.
That's cheap for today.
Here, I mean,
A nice little wine. And I know how to open the doors, man. I'm ahead of the game. So is Brian.
Good. Heading west.
And west? I know I can.
Yes,
I
sir.
like that. I had said the tunnel was a mile long. No, it is apparently 1.7 miles, so that's not 1,000 feet. I said maybe 1,000 feet. No, it is in fact much longer. It is, 6, 7, 8,000 feet, more like that. And it shows it is a long drive, as you can see by watching it. It's quite an experience. Worth noting, the doors open wide enough. They open all the way. If you had some reason you needed to get out of the vehicles, the doors swing all the way, and there is room on either side, maybe 1.5 feet on either side, so you could get past the car if that's something you need. Now, remember, there's a lot of things about this tunnel that people don't like. It's not automated enough. And I agree, it's not automated enough. That's something that they want to work on. That's something they're going to work on. But it doesn't affect anything today. Today, it just means more jobs for drivers who seem to enjoy the job, drivers who are happy to chat with you about the experience. I'm sure they get very tired of answering the same questions day in and day out, but they did it. They were happy to do it. So it runs back and forth all day, quiet, seamlessly, no real issues. So if it creates too many jobs, that's not a bad thing. It just means that in the future, the efficiency can increase and will increase. The number of passengers per vehicle can increase. They could put in something bigger, like what was originally envisioned with a little shuttle, and that would increase throughput even more. When the autonomy comes, this will save money. But it won't save you money. It won't save the city of Las Vegas money. It won't save the Convention and Visitors Bureau money because they have a fixed price contract. The money it costs is the same whether it's a human driver or an autonomous driver. The only ones losing money is the boring company themselves, and they're happy to do it because it works. Whatever their objective is, it meets it. They are making these drives at the right price, on the right amount of time, with the right throughput, and everybody's kind of happy. And the tunnels are progressing all over town. Lots more to come. You'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this unfold, but I've got some more thoughts to go over the next big segment and some more at the end. Stay tuned. All right. So for the people who say the tunnel is too slow or too crowded, this is CES. This is the busy week.
There's been precisely one traffic jam in all of boring tunnel history, and it was last year at CES, the first big event where they had to get things figured out for the first time. That was a lot of fun. The safety, oh my gosh, you guys, you're gonna die down there. There's no way to control for the different, for fire and all that. Well, there's no fumes down there. There's a ton of air vents. There's a different system. They've got their own fire trucks, and egress at the tunnels at each station is closer than legally required for tunnels in the US. They actually thought of all these things. If you want to come and tell me, oh, look, Elon invented a train, but worse, you're free to do that, but you're gonna need to watch some of my past videos first, because I've already covered all of this quite extensively. It is not a tunnel but worse, it is a tunnel but cheaper, and that was the key. It wasn't a choice between this and a train, it was a choice between this and nothing at all, because there was no bid remotely close. The only other bid was an above ground train that would have cost 5 times more. So what are you gonna do? Have nothing at all? The amount of time we just saved by going through that instead of hanging out, like instead of walking or having no choice at all. I mean, come on, that was awesome. Very smooth, very easy. They got to get the autonomy part figured out, and they will, but that's not today. And it doesn't need to be. Either it works or it doesn't, and it does. So there you go. Boring loop in Vegas. Was I bored? Actually, let's ask Jeff. Boring tunnel. What's your impression?
Not boring in the slightest. It was fascinating. As a mildly claustrophobic person, I did not find it terrifying, which I was impressed by. And generally, it's just a lovely little ride, no problem at all.
Very smooth, very quiet, very easy.
Yeah, it
Painless.
was great. A nice clean setup, and right to the door delivery.
Yeah. So very exciting. If you get a chance, check it out. Is it life-changing? Is it world-changing? Is it gonna?
No, but it's nice.
But it's a nice way to get around, and that's the entire objective. Yes. And the lights were,
especially these days around here.
The lights were okay. I mean, it's a nice little feature to add on.
Yes, indeed.
For kind of no reason.
Yeah.
Great, fine. So there we go. Well, I think this gentleman here, I think he wants me to stop.
No, you're good.
Oh, I'm good. Okay. I misunderstood. So you can leave that in the comments. Brian misunderstood what a stop sign means. Yeah, that's a good one.
There's the sphere over there.
And the sphere is over there. Very cool looking right there. So let's head into CES and see what kind of trouble we can get up to. What did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Bagel mania. Yeah. Like, subscribe, all the usual things. See you, clever robots.
So on this part of the drive, the driver didn't feel like turning off the radio. He said, no, I can't do it. And I don't know if that's just his preference or if that's just what we're doing because, maybe he doesn't want me recording and he knows that if there's copyright music playing from the radio, it's going to be a problem for me. Doesn't matter either way. I'm happy to cover this in voiceover. So the boring tunnel is going to be long. We're talking like 29 miles at least, running all the way from the airport through the strip to downtown. It will cover the stadium, and there are projected to be 55 stations. It may stretch all the way over to Chinatown, a part of Vegas I didn't know existed until I read about it in a article about the boring tunnel. So it's very exciting in that regard. It is, to the people saying it's a waste of money, you don't get it. It's not a waste of money. It doesn't cost anything. The Convention and Visitors Bureau will be paying for the main trunk that runs down from end to end, but every casino will be paying for their own station. So all those connections are paid for by someone who isn't you, unless you're staying at those hotels and you wish to use them. That trunk has to be paid back by the boring company. The boring company digs the tunnel and then they get a license to use it. And that license allows them to charge fares, which are then used to repay the city or the Visitors Bureau, whoever it is that's actually cutting the check. So there is no risk to the city apart from the possibility of derelict stations or an abandoned train tunnel. And it's not a train. Well, why isn't it? Trains are so much better. They're so much more effective. They're not. Trains are great for high capacity, high use places, but this isn't that place. These are more convenient because they run point to point. You don't have to get on a train. First of all, you don't have to wait for a train, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it may be. You just go down there and the car is waiting, or hopefully a shuttle. And then you get in and your destination is where you are going. You don't have to remember how many stops it is. You don't have to get off and change platforms or change trains. It takes you from one station where you want to be to another station where you need to be. So there you go. It takes you door to door. Now, of course, when they run to the stadium, they are absolutely going to need a whole lot more in terms of capacity. Having 3 passengers at a time leaving the stadium would never cut it. So for that, they will absolutely need a shuttle bus, a cargo van, something with 7 to 10 seats at least. Capacity for 10 would be ideal. If you've got thousands of people to move out, you could get them. If the station holds 20, then you're pulling out 200 people with every single departure. That would be meaningful. You could burn through thousands in 10, 20 minutes. No problem. So it would work. The cost is whatever the cost is. If you've tried to get around at ground level in Vegas, it is challenging. Things are kind of far apart, especially when the weather is so hot. It's punishing to try and walk in 100, 110 degree weather if you're not used to it. This is air conditioned, but it's also underground, so it doesn't need as much air conditioning. It's just plain pleasant. It's pleasant, it's fast, it's effective, and it's not gonna bankrupt the city. So that was all that I really needed you guys to hang out for. So thank you for sticking with me to the end. And I think there's a little bit more video, but you got to check that out too, because it's pretty fun.
So he wouldn't turn the music off, so I couldn't give you the live commentary, but that's okay. This guy needed to. If I had to be critical, I would say the roads are a little too bumpy in there. Not a big deal. Something you could fix easily if it was an issue. Just weirdly bumpy. I don't know how that happens. I would also say the fact that the humans are still involved is kind of weird and dumb, but they are. Humans are still involved in the process, but it's easy, it's super easy. And that was, I just saved, a half mile off my walk time, which is fine because I've gotten in a whole bunch of steps today. And check and see how many. How many steps have I done? Come on. Yeah, that's 6,400 steps today so far. Not too shabby. Me? Too shabby. So I guess we'll add that on to the end of the other one and call that good enough. Boring tunnel. Las Vegas, Nevada.